Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for joining in. We're Cups of Crazy, and we just want to check in with everyone, see how it's going. What's up, Rachel?
Hello, I'm great. Having a good morning so far. It was AJ's first day of school, so see how that goes.
He's pretty excited about it, at least.
He's super excited. He was like, I want to get the hell away from this house. Same.
Yeah. Yeah, the boys, they're happy with distance learning.
Yeah.
I think I have two hermits. They don't really care about seeing friends.
Yeah.
But they also did way better, when
Yeah.
we did the distance learning. So we're going to
AJ
enjoy
was
that.
not a fan at
No.
all. He's like, this is stupid. I'm like, okay.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah, all right, whatever, man.
So how was your weekend? We
It was
didn't talk
great.
much this weekend.
Yeah, we're not talking much this weekend. We're not doing names, so I was just with a friend this weekend, and I went to the beach, and I had an amazing time, and it was very, very nice, very relaxing. It was perfect.
Nice.
Yeah, you?
Not much, honestly. The boys stayed at their dad's, which leaves me with not much to do. So I just worked on like the website and all that good stuff. Didn't do much else. Try not to spend money. I did get exciting news though, that I go back to work September 8th, and I am so excited.
I'm happy for you. Jealous, but excited for you.
Well, this whole thing is like annoyed me
Yeah,
because there are people that are like, oh, that's not fair. I'm working and the other people are getting more money. Not for nothing. I didn't get much more than what I normally make. And
right.
I would rather have a job and be confident that I get to go back to that job instead of sweating out every day. Like, am I going to have to find another job?
Yeah.
And I looked at different things because honestly, it's been crickets for the past few months. So it was like, all right, there's a good chance I'm not going to be called back.
Yep.
So I've been looking, and holy crap, what they pay, like starting pay for someone that has the same title as me, is like $15 an hour. Are you kidding me right now?
Yeah, hell no. And I don't know, I think the cost of living is pretty much the same here and there because $15 an hour is like, it's just
Shit.
not there. It's not enough. Like, it's not
No.
enough. And and minimum wage is what, $8 an hour? Come on.
I don't even know. But yeah, it was stressful because I'm like, as you start to make more money in life, your cost of living starts to get a bit bigger. So right before this, I bought a new car, like 2019.
You got her! No!
Is that your cat?
He's trying to mess up the stand. He's trying to climb up it.
Let him.
Yeah, okay.
Um,
Okay, sorry.
so before all this, I had bought a car, and then I got furloughed. So I was like, seriously, something amazing happens, and then we get smacked with a pandemic. I get furloughed. So it was very stressful. And when I got the call the other day, it was like, holy shit. Almost started crying on the phone, as we talked about. I'm not really a crier, but I was just like, yes, I'll come back as soon as you want, whatever you want.
Okay, dress right now.
Yeah, seriously, I almost said I can go in tomorrow. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. Huge news, huge relief mentally.
That's awesome.
I was freaking out, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm still waiting. I mean, I went on interviews but I can't, same, like, I can't go somewhere and make less than what I was making. Like, it just, like, my cost of living hasn't gone up yet. Like, I have a couple more years, like, but I mean, I was making decent money. And now, you know what I mean? It's like, I almost bought a car before and I didn't, so I'm happy about that. Just gonna keep my '08 Focus going.
Yeah, keep trucking along.
Right into the ground. It has like 200,000 miles on it.
What car do you have right now?
Focus.
You don't have the one from when I went there a few years ago, right?
The Kia?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that got totaled.
Jesus.
So yeah, that's that. But that's life. I get into a lot of car accidents. Not in a while though, so it's cool.
Kudos.
Uh,
So, so watching the podcast that we did,
yeah.
it was so difficult for me to see myself
Mm-hmm.
on camera.
Yep.
And, you know, I mentioned to you, like, holy shit, my face is fat. Like, to put some background to it, I did have 4 surgeries this year, but it was only on one side. So
So
why is the
cute.
other one fat? No. So I was reading something and I was like, oh man. So apparently you appear 5 times more attractive in the mirror than you really are.
I heard that.
And
I was like, wow, I am horrific then.
that's what I was like. So this is what I'm left with. Like, and when people show you a picture of yourself and they're like, no, I think you look cute. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? So I'm like 10 times more hideous than I thought.
Than I really think, yes. But to be on a lighter note, I also heard that we get so accustomed to how we look that we don't realize how other people perceive us as pretty or whatever. For example, I was at work when I worked, and I was dealing with these people, and they were from Venezuela, and this lady was just like, you know, most Venezuelan women are just like gorgeous, and she was just like silky smooth straight black hair, like her body was just so pretty, her face was so cute, and to me she was like, you are so beautiful, and I was like, I'm sorry, what? Like, because I was red, I had no makeup on, you know how red I get, and and I was running around like sweating, and she's like, your freckles, she's like, those are just so beautiful, and your eyes are so pretty, she's like, oh, you're just so pretty. I'm like, thanks, you're pretty. Like, so you just don't, you know, sometimes we think like, ugh, bleh, and then other people are like, oh, you know, they're cute.
Yeah.
Self-esteem is like, to get into that topic, has been rough, but I'd say, um besides like when I'm in my like little depressive phases or whatever, I actually have like more confidence. Like, I can look in the mirror. One time I like was walking past the mirror and I was like, oh, she's cute, thinking it was someone behind me, but it was me. And I was like, oh, you know what I mean? So sometimes you don't realize, but now, like, as I'm starting to get older, I'm actually getting more confident. So like, talking about how you don't like seeing yourself on camera, when I did my YouTube first video, I I must have shot the video like a total of 10 hours for a 5-minute segment, because
Wow.
I was like, I didn't like how I looked on camera. Like, I didn't have my light yet, you know, and whatever. But when I did it, it's still like, eventually, as I got used to it, I started finding qualities that I thought were cute. I'm like, oh, I look cute when I do that. I look cute when I do that. And it's not like, you know, bragging or boasting, like, you know, I mean, there's a fine line between self-confidence and like, you know, being what's
A
the
big
word?
ego.
Right, exactly. Just like so self-involved. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
like, finding a place now where I feel like comfortable in clothes, and like I go out and I'm like, oh, I look cute. Like, you know, I don't think you need me to look cute. I'm saying I think I look cute, and that's enough. Like, that's all I need. You know what I mean? But for 30 something years, it was not like that. It's a battle. It's a big battle. Everybody faces it. Well, you know, most people who aren't naturally beautiful when they wake up face it.
Some of us have to work on it, okay?
I look like a troll when I wake up.
Good times.
I know.
I feel like I'm the same though. Like, I've become more comfortable
Mhm.
with how I look, and you know, back in the day I hated the fact that I had curly hair. I hated when it dried, it got all poofy. But then honestly, working where I work right now,
Mm.
I've come to appreciate those things because I'm not the only one that's thought excuse me, different things like that.
Yeah.
And you know, getting a genuine compliment like, your hair is amazing, like, because right now it's wet, I look like a wet dog,
Like,
but when it dries it's like and like, you know, there's curls and stuff.
I love that kind of hair.
that's what everyone says. And I'm like, yeah, give me some pin straight hair any day. But
No.
I've come a long way, you know, and some days I'm like, oh, I look cute in this, but bruh,
You
looking
know,
at
like
that first video.
right.
So
For people can see the video, like this is my hair naturally, like there's nothing in it right here, so it's just like so in between. It's like, but I've learned to appreciate it because I can straighten it easier than someone who has hair like yours, or curl it more than someone who has pin straight hair. So it's like,
right.
what, I'm just gonna let it be tangly mess, no big deal.
Whatever. It's called beachy waves these days.
That's what it's called. I used to, oh my God, I remember when we were younger, and even when I was already living here. I was already living in Florida, and I remember like going into my first year of junior high, and like the week before, getting all my stuff and everything, and I specifically remember buying, it was a new style that they had of oh, what's it called, the gel, LA gel, I think.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? LA gel, yeah. And they
Yeah.
had this new one, and it was the wet look, like, you know what I mean? And I bought it because I'm like, oh, I can get my hair to look like Lee's hair.
Oh, Jesus.
We do not have the same kind of hair. I used to try to cut my bangs like hers because they would like curl under, and I love that, but my hair just didn't do that.
Yeah, you didn't want to do that. Trust me.
I wanted to so bad.
So I think we talked about that in like our first video that we're like, no, we're going to learn from this one.
Yeah.
But basically the the bang phase stemmed from me chopping my hair off before going to 6th grade. I wanted to look like Toni Braxton. So I walked up the street and I went into the hair salon and I said, I want to look like Toni Braxton. Let me tell you, this bitch shaved the back of my head. Didn't say to me, like, someone going into 6th grade that says that, an adult should say, listen, that's a great haircut, but you're not going to look like Toni Braxton. No,
Right.
This woman was like, get in the chair. Let's shave the back of your head. Yeah. And I walked home, and my brother and his friend were like across the street, and I heard his friend laughing, and my brother knew I was like devastated. And he's like, Lee, your hair looks good. And I was just like, oh my God.
Oh,
like,
Lenny.
if my brothers complimented me. So no, you don't want those bangs because that was such a traumatizing
I've still tried to do them over the years, like even a couple years ago. And just because like some bangs like angled right look cute, but it's just not meant for me. Yeah, my hair was pulled back too much in my life, like, so now it's like it's thinner up here, so it's just not as full as the rest of it, and it's just no. But I do remember when I was in 5th grade and Save the Last Dance was like the big thing, and Julia Stiles was on the cover of some magazine, and I begged my mom to buy it, and she did, and it was her with like beach wave curls, but her hair was up to here, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's what I want for sure. And I did it. I chopped it all off, and I bought that gel. It was right before 6th grade, and I bought that gel, and I was like, ugh. I used to think it was cute though, so like whatever. Yeah. I have pictures actually. I'll send them to you.
See, those are things that just make us appreciate being an adult and hopefully making better decisions. I mean,
right. Even though in 10 years from now, we'll probably be like, what was I wearing? What was I doing?
Or do you ever look back at your clothes like, where the hell did that shirt go? I do that all the time.
Yes and no. Like when I was in high school as such a tomboy, I used to wear Malcolm's like jerseys and stuff, like with jeans. Like I had no sense of style. I just started developing some sort of sense of style. Like thank God for the friends that I've had that were all not stylish, but like they knew how to match clothes and do stuff like that. But like I never look back and I'm like, oh my God, because it's just me and I'm still that way. Like, I can still see how I dress still in like a similar manner, like throughout the years, just like laid back, chill. I mean, like now that I can appreciate my body more, like I wear clothes that I normally wouldn't wear. Like I tuck my shirts into my jeans and it looks cute and I'm like, okay, whereas I never do that before. But I don't know, maybe in 5 years I'd be like, no, you shouldn't have did that. So I don't know.
Ready?
Yep.
So over the weekend, I had a situation come up where previously I probably would have handled it a lot differently, but it was dependent on the mood I was in when it did happen.
Mhm.
So basically, the first thing I want to say is don't go look for things because you may come across stuff that you wish you didn't or that can hurt you. So
When
that's
you
number
go
one.
digging for dirt, your hands get dirty.
Yes. Okay. Perfect. Put that on a sticker.
Yeah.
So I've done very good. And I try to just not look for things, just live in the moment, be happy, you know, be trusting of people and situations, whatever. So I came across something. I assumed. I actually reacted really well. And I just kind of made a comment about it like, hey, maybe you should do this before this. I'm not going to get into specifics. Rachel knows.
You briefly told me, yeah.
So I am proud of how I handled it because I didn't freak out completely and just word vomit and say things that in 24 hours I would probably regret.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a very civil discussion, which turned out me assuming, and there was a reason behind it and whatever. So the part to this though is even though I handled it well and I was like, oh, okay, like I made an assumption, I still had that distance. Like I kind of shut myself off and just kind of stayed quiet for
Yep.
that night and like a little bit of the next day. And that's just the remnants of how my mind works. And like, even though I told myself like, no, it's fine, you know, there's nothing there, whatever, I still had that almost like a, not a grudge, but that questioning, that gut feeling like, is
Yep.
it okay to like be okay with that and like take that information and be like, oh, okay, that's why.
Fine.
Or, you know, is it going to bite me? And that's been a problem. It's more of recent years that's been an issue. I've never really dealt with some of this stuff before.
Mm-hmm.
So it was interesting. And like the next day I was like, all right, cool. Like just move past it. But even after the initial conversation, it was like, I wanted to vomit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just such an odd reaction to have when I purposely knew what I was doing. And it was more of like, oh, let me just see.
Right.
And then it was like, what the shit? Like, why did I even bother? You know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's one of my issues, which, like I said, it was a relapse because I've done really good for a while now.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Well, good for you.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Being
got
an
through
adult.
it.
And that's the thing too. Like, it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing too, is like when you were talking about distancing yourself, you're really only hurting yourself because half the time they don't even notice.
No, they never notice.
Yeah, I'm speaking
It's
from
only in my head.
previous experience. She's in a relationship. I am not. So that way we can clarify whenever I'm talking about something, it's nothing that's happening now. But yeah, and then it's like because half the time they don't notice and they're just like, oh, she's probably on her period or whatever. Fucking men. So really you're just hurting yourself because you're dwelling on it, like you're internalizing it, and it's just like it's just gonna make it worse because then when you do try to have a civil conversation, it just ends up being like bleep 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 bleep.
Yeah. Yep. So I was proud of myself, you know, but I'm also pissed off that I look, you know, it is what
Yeah,
it
but you
is.
don't have to be because sometimes I mean, but if this is the thing, if you didn't, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. We'd probably be talking off camera how you're still being by how it's driving you crazy still.
Yeah.
So, you know, sometimes just do what you gotta do, man.
Exactly.
And they're no better. So
Yeah.
that's
We're
that.
all
Well,
human.
yeah. Well, I've learned, yeah, I don't know. I've never, yeah, I've looked, but anytime I found something that I was not happy with. So it's like something that's not like outrageously a big deal, but something that just bothers me, even though
Yeah.
it's like, you know what I mean? It's like, whatever. But that's why I'm just like, you know what, I'm not even gonna look because I'm not even gonna waste my time. Unless I really feel like I have a reason, I've never been like a looker. You know what I mean? Because they act different, so you know. So that's when you start looking. But I've never, yeah, I haven't had to do that. Well, let's see. This weekend I told you I had like a really great time, and coming back from the beach I ended up having like an anxiety attack. I was like in a shell bathroom, like puking, and like it was just already gross in general. Couldn't breathe. It was terrible. And I started questioning, like, why does that happen if I'm so, like, I felt so calm. Like, I was on the beach and I was just like laying there looking at the waves, and I just like started crying because I was so happy. Like, I'm a crier, right? So, but it just like, it was overwhelming because I've been so stressed out and anxious and, you know, whatever all the time. It was just like an overwhelming feeling of like calmness. And the beach can do that too. Like, being at the beach and just like tuning out and just like listening to the waves or whatever. But then after that, I don't know, I was like, is my body not used to like happiness? And it's rejecting it? Like what is going on? So I don't know. So that's actually, I'm like really beating myself up because I haven't posted like another video yet on my channel, even though I have some recorded. But I was thinking about that. So I'm gonna do a little bit of research into that. Like what, you know, besides the obvious factors of what would bring on an anxiety attack or a panic attack, like, you know, there are other things out there. Like, it just spreads so far. So I'm gonna look into a little bit of that, and I'm actually gonna do that video and upload it today. I'm saying it now, that way I have to hold myself accountable. So that was something that happened, but I'm gonna take that and learn and try to use it and research it. And that's the best you can do, especially for mental health. Like, is research anything you're curious about, especially as far as for yourself.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, this was a good chit chat.
It was a good chit chat. Yeah. So if you guys have like a story about how you handled the situation better than you normally would, or if you were learning more about your mental health and like the research that you did, and maybe you came across something and you want to let us know, it's cupsofcrazy@gmail.com. And for anybody watching on YouTube, we will put the link in the description below. Today we will officially be on Spotify and Apple Music, which is very exciting. Woo woo. We're on Podbean right now. You can get the App Store or Google Store. I'm not sure what store that is. Any of those stores. It's available and it's free. And it's Cups with an S, Cups of Crazy, and that goes for YouTube as well. So yeah, let us know what you guys think. Give us some feedback, and on the next one, maybe we can go over a couple of emails, or even if one email, and just see what people have to say. So thanks for listening and watching.
And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye, coffee beans.
Later.